Pull to order, please, if the clerk would call the roll.
Mike Wayland.
Here.
John Vajezi.
Here.
Don Wynn.
Here.
Tom Cook.
Present.
Ashley Katz.
Here.
Tammy Lee Brown Edwards.
Here.
Dennis Moon.
Here.
7 present.
We have a quorum, thank you. First of all, I'd like to call a public hearing to provide an opportunity for public input regarding the proposed water treatment facility and discussion of the planning and design for that treatment facility. The city is applying for an Illinois Environmental Protection Agency public water supply loan for construction of a new water treatment facility that will include 5 wells, 4 reverse osmosis units, 1.5 million gallons of ground storage, a garage and storage building, high service pump station, standby generator, and related appurtenances and restoration. Don't ask me to pronounce that again. As a part of this process, a public hearing is required to be conducted and an assessment of the environmental impacts of the proposed public water supply projects to be funded with loans. The city received a project summary and preliminary environmental impacts determination from the IEPA that is published on the city's website and has been available here at City Hall. A map showing the location of the proposed facility is included with that document. And for purposes of this meeting will obviously disclose that as at the northwest corner of Grant and Ward Streets here in the city of Macomb. I now turn this portion of the hearing over to the Public Works Director, Ms. Alice Ortzman.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Proclamations. So the purpose of this meeting is to discuss environmental impacts that may be associated with the new water treatment plant. I'd just like to let you know that the project has been reviewed by the Illinois Department of Natural Resources to determine compliance with the Illinois Endangered Species Act, the Illinois Natural Areas Preservation Act, and the Illinois Wetlands Act, and no negative impacts are expected due to this project. It was also reviewed by the State Historic Preservation Office for compliance with the National Historic Preservation Act, and no negative impacts to historical or archaeological resources are expected due to this project. Since the proposed water treatment plant will be located on undisturbed land and having the potential to affect properties that have religious or cultural significance to Indian tribes previously residing in Illinois, Macomb was required to submit information to all interested federally recognized Indian tribes. The Osage Nation has requested a cultural resources survey be completed, and that is currently underway. And this project does not require any sign-off from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers or the Illinois Department of Agriculture. As the mayor mentioned, the documents are available for review in the city clerk's office between now and 14 days from today, so November 28th, and that which time then it will be closed, and we will send our any comments that we've received, et cetera, to the Illinois EPA for their consideration.
Thank you, Alice. Anyone from the council have any questions for Alice or any comments regarding the proposed water treatment facility? Alice, could you give us a general estimate of cost here?
Can. The estimated cost at this time is a little over $23 million.
Okay.
We are going for the loan, as the mayor mentioned. There is some principal forgiveness available at the IPA right now. I think we're anticipating about $1.25 million might be available for us. And because we are a small community, we are going to qualify for a interest rate that it currently sits at 0.93%.
Okay, very good. All righty. Does anyone from the public wish to go on the record for the public hearing? Mr. Walker.
Dana Walker, 315 North Madison Street, and you can probably guess my comment. I just think that the council needs to do away with the flat rate debt service fee to pay for this. It's already too high for an individual household.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Would either Alice or the city administrator want to talk about the debt structure for paying this and how those are likely to or not likely to impact fees and costs in a general way? Well, in the past, when we've asked for EPA loan guidance, they've always indicated that they have to make sure that we're charging enough for water to make sure that we can meet the debt service requirements for that.
I'll take this one. At the, during budget hearings this past, or earlier this year, one of the things that the council enacted was a scheduled 5-year increase to the debt service, and those rates were set to put us in the position where we will have funds available to make the debt service payments when we actually incur the cost.
Okay,
Is that-
all righty. Thank you. Anything you want to add, Scott? All righty. Anyone else have any comments or questions regarding the city's proposed water treatment facility? All righty, for the purposes of the record, we'll consider the public hearing closed. All righty, I'd like to issue a proclamation, and I would like a couple of people here in the audience and at the council dais to join me at the podium. First, I'd like to invite Amaya Jones, who is the president of Epsilon Beta Chapter, and then Kyra Newsom, who is the president of the WIU Black Students Association, and Alderman Tammy Lee Brown Edwards. If you join me at the podium, please. You're welcome to stand right here if that's all right. Council, whereas Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated is a nonprofit collegiate sorority with more than 100,000 members, 500 plus U.S. and global chapters dedicated to the encouragement and promotion of high scholastic attainment, community service, and improvement to the quality of life through its chapters, members and affiliates located throughout the United States, Korea, Bermuda, Africa, Bahamas, Germany, Canada, the Caribbean, and the United Arab Emirates, and whereas November 12, 2022 marks the 100th anniversary of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and that they contribute to college, universities, and communities where their endeavors of service, scholarship, and sisterhood, and whereas this sorority has served as a home for thousands of collegiate and professional women looking for a place to share inspiring life experiences, learning new things, conquer life challenges, thrive in society, and uplift the community through sisterhood, scholarship, and service. The dynamic women of Sigma Gamma Rho have built and sustained a well-known and highly respected reputation for leading prospective change. Through its mission, the organization seeks to address progress, projects, and concerns that impact society educationally, socially, politically, and economically. And whereas Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated has partnerships with U.S. Swimming, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Own Your Vote, and other partnerships that align with the organization's motto, greater service, greater progress. And whereas the sorority's Epsilon Beta chapter at Western Illinois University also celebrates 50 years on Western's campus as they were chartered on January 7th, 1972 by charter members Denise L. Hill, Marilyn Ann Brinson Shelton, Lotta Ann Price, Peggy Lee Smithers Childress Young, Vicki Theo Mallory, Deborah Jean Scott, and Ruthie Warden Waller. And whereas the Epsilon Beta chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho has locally supported initiatives which include Operation Big Book Bag for Macomb Public School students, honoring the Macomb Police Department, providing donations and community service to local shelters, food pantries, daycares, and the McDonough County Housing Authority, and McDonough District Hospital. And where it is fitting that we should recognize this sorority as it commemorates 100 years as a National Collegiate Sorority Incorporated in 1922, as Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Members will be hosting activities across the globe to mark this milestone occasion, ranging from service projects and community engagement to celebratory events. Now therefore, Michael J. Inman, Mayor of the City of Macomb, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the week of November 6th through the 12th, 2022, as Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated Week. And I urge all citizens to recognize the positive contributions made in our community by past and present members of Epsilon Beta Chapter, and thanking members of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated for their efforts and dedication to serve the communities around the nation and globally, and wish them continued success in their centennial year and beyond. I'd like to present you with this, and thank you. And Madam Alderperson, can I give that to you? And I would encourage some remarks from you ladies, if that's appropriate.
Ooh-wee. Thank you, Mayor Inman and City Council members. We just want to mention that the chapter has served locally for 50 years and internationally for 100 years. We look forward to doing more service on and off campus for the years to come.
We would also like to take this moment to thank some of our special partnerships here in Macomb: the Macomb Police Department, the WIU Food Pantry, the YMCA, the Housing Authority of McDowell County, the WIU Recreation Center, the Macomb School District, the McDowell District Hospital, the Office of the Deputy City Clerk of Macomb, the WIU Women's Center, and Samaritan Well. We look forward to expanding our list of partnerships. Thank you very much, and continue to support. Thanks.
Alderman Brown Edwards.
I'm very proud of these young ladies. They have done a lot of great works in the city. Most importantly, they have created an initiative at McDonald District Hospital by giving baby gifts to any child born on our year. So, I'm sorry, on our birth date. So on November 12th, a child is given a gift from our sorority for being a part of that special day for us. And hopefully it'll be a special day for their families as well as the child.
Thank you, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All right, let's give them another round of applause. Once again, lady, thank you for letting us be a part of your celebration, and keep up the good work. Citizens wishing to address the City Council on matters germane to the agenda of tonight's meeting will be limited to 3 minutes and are asked to be brief and concise in making their remarks. Comments submitted by mail or email will not be read aloud, but a copy will be provided to each member of the council and made a part of the minutes of this meeting. Does anyone wish to speak to the council under the public comment section of tonight's agenda? All righty, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 1. Consideration of an ordinance authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $6,500,000 taxable general obligation bonds, also known as alternate revenue source bonds, Series 2022A, of the City of Macomb, McDonough County, Illinois, providing the details of such bonds and for an alternate revenue source and the levy of direct annual taxes sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on such bonds and related matters. This was had first reading at last Monday's City Council meeting. This is $6.5 million to provide funding for the police pension fund. And Scott, would you mind going over exactly what this and item number 2 are designed to do for the city?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. We've talked about this a few times. It's quite a long process, but I'll just remind everyone what we're doing here. So currently, our fire pension is funded about 52%, and our police pension is around 66%. So what we're going to do is borrow this money through these bonds, pay both of those plans off to 90%, and over the next 15 years, we would save approximately an estimated $4.7 million in payments towards a pension by utilizing a lower bond rate than what we're currently paying in interest. So it would get us funded to 90% for both the pension plans for fire and police, and do it with the savings over that time.
Thank you. Does anyone from the council have any questions regarding the item we just read has pertains to the police pension fund? Okay. All righty, we'll place that on for action next Monday night. Item number 2 is the companion to that. This is for the fire pension fund, and that's the same language with the exception that it's they're classified as a Series 2022B bonds, and they're in the amount of $10 million. So any questions regarding the fire pension bond issue? All righty, we'll place that on for action next Monday night as well. And Scott, do you want to talk about what the next steps would be? Should we proceed with this, or?
I believe the next step is to have a bond call. We'll get a rating from Moody's for the city, which historically we've had a very good rating, and then they'll go out and get the actual call for the bonds, where we'll know exactly the percentage that we'd be paying.
And then make a determination that at that time through council action on how to proceed.
To
Okay,
proceed or
very good.
not, yep.
Alrighty, don't believe there's any other business to come before you this evening. We'd like to call a executive session to discuss appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of an employee of the public body or legal counsel of the public body pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act.
Motion to go to executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Wayland,
Aye.
Vijezi,
Aye.
Wynn,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Katz. Aye. Brown Edwards.
Aye.
Moon.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. For those in the audience, that concludes the public portion of our meeting tonight. Will be no action coming out of executive session. And for the media, we'll spend just a minute or two and take any questions you may have.